I'm Jacqueline Johnson.
And I'm Marina Middleton.
And this is Work Party, a podcast that's part work and part party. Work Party celebrates a new generation of women who are redefining the meaning of work on their own terms and having fun while doing it.
In this podcast, we are diving into all the areas of being a working woman. Mind, body, and business. No topic is off limit.
Real talk and hot takes. Think of us as your internet work wives. This is Work Party,
the podcast.
Wait, where's the champagne?
Welcome back to Work Party. Today's special episode is in celebration of our annual 100 list. Create & Cultivate's 100 list honors 10 women in 10 different categories who are building, leading, and influencing at scale. They are moving markets, shaping culture, and making decisions that matter. This year, Create & Cultivate's 2026 100 list will span industries, generations, and stages of success, from first-time founders to legacy leaders, each setting the pace, raising the standards, and moving culture forward. This episode highlights our Rising Stars category.
Almost every entrepreneur can admit they've been tempted to hit the eject button on the road to success. Quitting can seem tempting in the face of burnout, rejection, and constant pressure, but what actually keeps these women going? This episode explores the real anchor behind every successful founder, their why. Let's dive in as we hear from Alfred, Aliett, Buttelman, and Nina LaBruna, Sammi Cohen, Tricia Lee, Camille Moore, and Kristina Subbotina.
Girl, tell me everything. Start from the beginning. I get it. My name is Alfred, and I am the host of a podcast called She's So Lucky. The moment that I knew I was on to something, I started my podcast almost 8 years ago, and the first several months that I did it, it was like crickets, just my mom listening, but I was having so much fun with it and loved it. And a few months in, I started getting pitches of people pitching themselves to be on the podcast. And when I realized that people wanted to be a part of something that I was creating, I felt like I was onto something. Ooh, money moves I'm making right now. I'm really entering my investor era, which has been incredibly exciting. So I'm beginning to invest in other founders, mainly female-founded companies, both in the tech space and in the consumer goods space. And so it's been really cool to be able to support other businesses. Oh my gosh, so many people whose careers I admire. Emma Grede is a big one. I think the way that she has been able to build empires and build herself is incredibly inspiring. I also really look up to Reese Witherspoon. I think what she's created with Hello Sunshine and just that empire all around women's storytelling and literacy and media is really fascinating. The strongest thing I've heard, I've got to sit down with so many successful women who are at the top of their game. But what I've realized in sitting down with so many of these women is the gap between where people like me or maybe people who may be watching at home, where we are to where these super successful women are is actually not that big. It's really a result of consistency, continuing to bet on yourself and continuing to move forward each day. But I think a lot of us are a lot closer to reaching our goals than we think we are. And being able to talk to people who have been to that point has really helped me realize that.
Hello again. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Hi, I'm Dr. Chrystle Cu, a dentist and a co-founder at CocoLab, where we make oral care products that are your daily hit of dental dopamine. Yeah, as a dentist, I can't help but notice people's teeth all the time. But not just their teeth, their smile overall. A lot of people think that they're bad at flossing. They're just using bad floss. The moment we knew we were onto something was when we saw that Goop wrote about Coco Floss on their blog. So as the brand has taken off, we've been investing deeply in building out our team. We're so excited about the new talent we've brought on, and we are now seeing the brand in places we'd have never expected. I love Sarah Blakely. I just love what she did, from fax machines to Spanx, and I love her energy. I've obviously never met her, but I can just feel it in every video and every photo I see of her. It is not hard to build a business, but you have to be so obsessed with the problem and the solution that you're bringing to the world. Cool. Thanks. Of course.
You got a fast car. Get it out of here. Managed to save just a little bit of money.
I'm Aliett Buttelman, and I'm one of the co-founders of Fazit Beauty.
And I'm Nina LaBruna. I'm the other co-founder of Fazit Beauty. So when I started wearing the sample production of our glitter freckle patches out on the streets of LA, I knew that Fazit was onto something due to the traction and conversations I was having. People were stopping me on the street to ask about the product, and I knew it was a winner at that point.
Well, different for me because I didn't have production samples, but the day we launched, which was April of 2024, we sent a few samples to friends going to Coachella, and they posted a video. That video got 10 million views, and we sold out of hundreds of thousands of product before it even got to our warehouse.
In order to maintain longevity and make sure we have healthy growth, we are working on profit margin, making sure that the brand stays lean and that, we're not overspending. We've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work financially to just make sure that, we can operate lean and profitably.
I mean, I feel like for us, we have to do a nod to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift wore our brand and it really skyrocketed. We laid the foundation for that moment to happen and sustained afterwards. But I think for her, she's Teflon. She, reinvents herself constantly. She comes back. And I think as a woman at her age, being a pop star, you don't really see that longevity in a woman's career. And I think the way that she's been able to continuously reinvent herself and stay relevant is very admirable.
For me, I admire Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. I think she did a lot of guerrilla marketing back in the day. I see videos of her going around the streets of Manhattan, handing out samples. And it just reminds me of Aliett and I just doing what we could back in the day when we had no finances and no resources to help build our brand and get it out and get it known in the public space.
The pinch me moment of our career was when Taylor Swift wore our glitter freckle makeup patches on national television. And I just started bawling, not just because the icon of our generation was wearing our brand and something that we created, but it was really validating, like this third-party validation that we were onto something and we were, really given that jolt in our brand building that we were ready for. And my husband took a video of me bawling my eyes out. I think it has 30 million views on TikTok now. I cried on the internet, and that was really the pinch me moment for us.
That night there was no time to get emotional, especially because I was with my friend and I wasn't looking at my phone when the news hit. And by the time I got to my phone, it was all hands on deck. Okay, we have to, make the best opportunity of this moment and, get to work. So it wasn't until weeks later, I think, that I actually really cried and had a reflection of the enormity of that moment and just what it really meant for Fazit and for Aliett and I.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Na 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 na, you're gonna hear me roar. Oh my God. You guys can't be serious. Hello. I'm Sammi Cohen, and I'm the CEO of Social Currency Media. The moment I knew I was onto something was when I had come out with a video on Outdoor Voices. If you're not familiar, it was the athleisure company started by Ty Haney. And I put that video out at night, and the next morning I checked my TikTok and Instagram, and it went completely viral. And I think that video really gave me the confidence in knowing that talking about this intersection of business and culture was something that, number one, I knew I loved doing it, but that there were other people out there who were also really interested in these types of stories. So one of the main money moves that I'm making now is thinking about ways that I can diversify my income stream. So I have my social currency podcast, I have my main social accounts, I'm also starting new businesses, but I'm realizing that as my career grows and as the media formats are changing, it's really good to have different streams of income that are coming in so you're not just relying on a single way to pay your bills every month. One person whose career I really admire is the queen, the GOAT, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She's had such an incredible career. She built Spanx into the empire that it is, but she has then built the second part of her career being a advisor and someone who really helps to empower other women specifically in entrepreneurship. And now she's on to Sneaks, so she's doing the entrepreneurship game again herself. But I look to her as someone who has continuously moved the needle and tried to expand people's perception of what it means to be a woman in business. Oh my God, I have so many toxic traits while filming content. Okay, number one is I usually will bullet point out the things that I'm saying in my content, my videos on social. And one thing that I'll do is if I say something, and sometimes I'll get the ick when I say something, so it'll come out a little bit weird. I'll then have to then say it multiple times in a row. And oftentimes I'm filming at home and my husband will be home and he's like, why are you saying this thing 20 times in a row just to get the right intonation? So that's probably my top toxic trait. I will just get so caught on a single word that I'm saying. And if it doesn't come out right, I have to say it again. And then that makes the editing process so much worse too. So yeah, that's definitely a little toxic. Oh, good Lord.
There we go. Teacher? No, that's not it. Yeah, this is how I get ready. Hi, my name is Tricia Lee. I am a New York City real estate broker, entrepreneur, and television talent. The moment that I knew I was onto something, I would say was probably my first day interviewing at my last firm. I met with Ryan Serhant on a whim just to see what he was doing. He was starting a new company, and I went in and met with him. And right in the middle of the interview, I immediately knew that we were going to work together, and I absolutely knew that we were going to be on television together. The money moves that I make right now to ensure my longevity, I would say number one is definitely living below my means. I think it's the general rule of most of my successful clients that I've had the ability to learn is to really live well below your means because you just never know when the tides are going to turn. Being an entrepreneur, I've definitely learned to not just reinvest back in my business, but reinvest in myself, but always plan for a hard, cycle and always plan for the tables to turn. There are so many people who have careers that I admire, but I would think number one, I think would probably be like the Martha Stewarts and Oprah Winfreys of the world, because I really feel that those individuals share the things that they love with their audience, and I just can't think of a better job. I think my unique point of difference is that I am known for doing one job, but I think as people get to know me, they're going to start to see that I love and enjoy and am really good at a lot of different things. The first place I go on the house tour is always the kitchen because I love to cook and I love kitchens. They bring me solace. It is how I relax and unwind from my own days, just cooking for my family or for myself. And it's just a love language for me. So I love the kitchen. I spend the most time showing the kitchen. And I think most clients kind of decide on the house based on the kitchen more times than not. It's kind of like the center of the home.
I'm double mic'd. My day is fantastic. This is the easiest part about it, so I better kill it. I'm Camille Moore, and I'm the internet's favorite branding expert. I believe in working hard, doing the work, and the rest will come. So I realized that I was onto something way before I started an agency. I was obsessed with studying my friends that came from successful families and asking their parents, what did they do? How did they get into these big homes? Because I believe in the Tony Robbins quote that success leaves clues. So I realized that I was onto something when I started studying the behaviors of people whose lives I wanted to lead. And the rest, I guess, is history. I believe that branding is a lagging indicator that you need to invest in your brand bank every single day and that it compounds over time. And because I started creating content pretty seriously about 5 years ago now, what it's taught me is that what I do today is I can't measure it until 6 to 8 months from now. So to me, the money moves is focusing on like an Olympic qualifier that's 3 to 4 years out and not quite knowing what that Olympic kind of competition is going to look like, but doing the reps every single day so that wherever that destination is, I'm ready to get there. Who is someone's career that I admire? I think Martha Stewart is an easy one because one who is able to reinvent themselves like Martha has, which is PR masterclass. But what I love the most is that she's relentless and not giving up with age on planet and what she's achieving to do. And I deeply respect the years in which she was like formative and came up. I love that everything is documented so that she has this like archive of what she was able to achieve. And I also respect the reality that you have to reinvent yourself several times throughout your life. So Martha is someone that I really respect. I would say that it's never a better time to invest in creating a personal brand. It is such a fortunate time that we are on the planet that we can show our point of view and our perspective through our phones. That doesn't cost us any money and it can reach exactly who it needs to connect with anywhere in the world. And it's scary because as much as this interconnectedness is powerful and beautiful, it's also on the precipice of AI where we don't know where that is going. And for those who need the push to lean in, the time is now because human connectedness has never been more important. But you have to start before the floodgates open because the more content that enters into the sphere, the harder it is going to be to get ahead. So, needing a personal brand has never been more important, and the urgency to start has never been more serious. We're in beautiful California, and I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Okay, Ginger. Just don't pee. This is not for you. Ginger. No. Down. Come. Yes. Hi, my name is Kristina Subbotina, and I'm a founder and CEO of Lexi. This is a AI law firm and platform for startups. When I left big law firm, I started creating content, and when I saw millions of views and founders really taking all of my content in and getting so much engagement, I realized that there is a gap in the market, affordable, legal for companies, and education that meets founders where they are, speaking their language, even if it's dancing in a dress or driving a Bentley, and breaking down complex legal concepts into simple things. And when I blew up on social media, that's when I knew that there is a gap. And the second time when I knew that I'm onto something that is a venture scale is when we started using AI agents to deliver legal to clients. And I'm like, oh my God, a lot of the things that I used to do at Big Law now can be done in seconds. Yeah, the biggest money move I'm making right now is accepting venture money to scale the company and hire people who are better at their job than me. Initially, it was just me and one engineer, and I was doing everything, content, legal. And I realized that in order to serve millions of companies and in order to be a reliable partner, you need to raise money. And that's what I recently did. We closed our pre-seed round and we started our seed round because this is a big opportunity. And the speed at which we can grow with institutional partners is unmatchable. So I kind of gave up my $1 million a year in cash to pursue a bigger opportunity. Okay, the person I admire. It's a really hard question for me because there are many people I like and there are certain things I admire about them, but I'm generally speaking not a fangirl. I don't have idols. Overall, from people whom I admire the things that they've done. Beyonce, Warren Buffett, Naval, and there are so many content creators that I admire. And I think instead of listing people, I would list from first principles the qualities that I admire in them. First is excellence, playing at the top of the game, being at the top of the league. And second, authenticity, living inside out. When you play this game, not to be the top in every game, but because it's authentic to you, you live inside out. And I think all of those people, they probably become the best in what they do because they cannot not do it. That's who they are. Toxic trait when I'm filming content, probably perfectionism, that I want to get things right or I want it to be polished. But my most famous videos are actually me sitting in business class, not even filming content, but just enjoying myself and then sharing, legal tips for startups. So my best performing content is improvised, recording me doing what I enjoy doing. And I still try to, play at the top of the game and create this polished content and striking the balance between, improvisation and preparation. So I think perfectionism, that's something I can let go more of. Actually, on the way here, I was playing the song that I just discovered recently, I Become Her. And I even got emotional about it because essentially the lyrics say that you become her, the woman of your dream, that you always knew that she's inside. And those dreams that she had and the way she saw herself at that time felt like insanity, because who do you think you are? But then you become her and you realize it's not an accident that you had those big dreams, even if no one around you did that or looked like you or dreamed about those things. All the dreams that you have inside of you, they're the seeds and the signs from the universe, God, that you're meant to do that. So go bravely and you become her, which is essentially you. So on my way, I actually was like crying about that, because I moved to Los Angeles in 2014 to study law. And I came without speaking fluent English. And I studied at USC, and I had to study law in parallel with English. And I remember how I had to memorize my job interviews by heart because I didn't speak fluent English. And at the bar exam, I didn't know some of the words. I had to guess them. And I remember how I was like, how in the world would I be able to do it? I've been told that, you will not be able to work at big law. You would not be able to do all of those things. And it turned out to be not true. And because everything started for me in the US, in Los Angeles, while driving to this photo shoot, and this song playing, I become her. It was so emotional. I was holding on to not mess up my makeup for this photo shoot. But I think it's truly that your dreams are sacred. And when you pursue them, universe just helps you and provides all of the resources, even if the odds are against you. Oh. I'm not crying from sadness. It just, that song was so emotional. Ooh.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Work Party. If you like what you heard, follow, leave a review, rate the pod, or slide into our DMs.
Check out the different ways you can create and cultivate on our website, createcultivate.com. From retreats and masterminds to our summits and festival.
We have different experiences to support you through your entrepreneurial journey from launch
to legacy.
Follow us at Create Cultivate on all platforms, and don't forget, work hard.
Party on.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.